भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our topic on sensitivity in dealings with other devotees. In the first half of this session, we discussed from the shloka of Krishna, Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Yes, our speech should not be agitating to others. It should be truthful, and it should also be with a well-wishing intent. However, when that well-wishing intent is there, sometimes if it is required, you may have to also speak in an agitating tone. In all general circumstances, in general dealings with devotees or anyone, we should be very polite, gentle, respectful. But there are some situations where a point has to be communicated very strongly. Just like a teacher may sometimes have to correct a student, and a smaller correction may not be sufficient. They may have to be little, strict sometimes to make a point. So in that situations, once in a while, if it is necessary, one may have to speak little strongly. That's what Krishna did to Arjuna. Krishna was chastising Arjuna, right? And we also discussed so many examples from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam, how Mother Suniti was very, very sensitive to the situation of Dhruva, and initially prioritizing to eliminate the negative feelings in the heart of Dhruva, instead of agitating those negative feelings. When somebody comes to us expressing their negative emotions, we should speak in such a way that the negative emotions are subdued and sidelined and not increased, right? So, and we also discussed the story of Amogha and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's home to take some prasad, but Amogha very insensitively spoke. This much food, 10 people can eat, and this one sannyasi is sitting and eating so much. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was devastated by this. I invited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to my home just to have him insulted like this. And he was very strict with Amogha. He was scolding him, even cursing him. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very sensitively dealt with the situation and said, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please don't feel that Amogha committed an offense. He's a young boy. He playfully said it, and what he said is also truthful. Yes, we should not eat so much. We should control our tongues, especially a sannyasi should have control over the tongue. So what he said is perfectly all right. He's trying to pacify him. So this is how we need to understand the situation and the condition of people, and then speak some good advice. Uh, which may not be uh, very technically correct sometimes, accurate sometimes, but it is very much needed for that person's what to say, welfare. For example, if a student is very disappointed, thinking that, oh, I got very less scores, very poor scores, he is already disheartened, already feeling so bad. If you go and tell, yes, your scores are very poor, you are like this, you are like that, then he'll be more disappointed. So there you need to have some encouragement. Okay, no problem, this exam is over, you cannot undo it. Next time you be careful. So whenever we are trying to console somebody who is overwhelmed with some sadness or negative emotions, we should do it in such a way that our pacification brings, our words will bring best out of them and not depress them even more. Right? Being truthful is another thing, but being sensitive is more important. Sometimes we may have to convey the truth also in a very palatable way, not in a very harsh way. Say somebody passes away, and that has to be communicated to their relatives. I mean, that the truth of the person's departure may be communicated in an insensitive way also, in a sensitive way also. Right? Ah, he died. Oh, that is shock. You need to give a buffer. You can't just say he died. Your statement is correct. Yes, he died. but but that has to be presented in a very sensitive manner, empathizing with the other person, sympathizing with the other person, consoling them, pacifying them in a very appropriate manner. Let me give an example. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, once Vidura came to Hastinapur. By the time Krishna has already departed from this world, then in Hastinapur, Yudhishthira Maharaj and other Pandavas welcomed Vidura in such a loving manner and asked about the welfare of the Yadus. Yudhishthira Maharaj was speaking to Vidura. Vidura, you have gone to so many holy places of pilgrimage. I am sure you must have gone to Dwaraka also. You must have met Krishna. You must have seen Balaram. You must have seen Ugrasena Maharaj, Vasudev, Devaki. How are they doing? Can you please tell me something about them? In those days, WhatsApp was not there to have video calls every day. So, some direct communication, when you directly hear from someone who met them, you will get to know news about your beloved ones. You may not have email communication or WhatsApp communication. So Vidura just came to Hastinapur after a long gap. So all the Pandavas were asking Vidura, please tell us about Krishna and your pilgrimages, your yatras. Then Vidura answered all the questions of Yudhishthira Maharaj, but he did not answer this question of Krishna's departure. The reason is, if I communicate this news of Krishna's disappearance to these Pandavas, the Pandavas will become devastated. I don't want to cause unnecessary pain to them. Why should I cause unnecessary pain to them? Anyways, they will come to know one day that Krishna has disappeared from this world and they will make the necessary plans. Why should I reveal it? So Prabhupada writes in the first canto, 13th chapter purports that he says that according to Niti Shastra, you should not speak a very unpalatable and unpleasant news to someone insensitively if it is not required to speak. If it is absolutely necessary, and if you are the person who is supposed to communicate, then you may have to do it in a very sensitive way. But if you are not the authorized person, if you don't need to communicate, and they will anyways know it in future, you don't have to speak a negative news unnecessarily. Sometimes there is a lot of enthusiasm, eagerness to give a breaking news. Let me reveal this sensational news to everyone. Let me be the first person to make this announcement. Let it come from my mouth only. So there is a lot of excitement. Let me put on all my Instagram status and WhatsApp status and reels and everywhere. I should be the first person who would be communicating this news to the whole world. There may be an excitement like that, but it's not necessary to be overexcited like that. If it is a good news, of course, you please be an instrument of spreading joy to everyone by sharing good news, by sharing auspicious news. But if it is a bad news, unpalatable news, especially if it hurts people, then communicate with some sensitivity. Don't unnecessarily uh, you know, agitate them or disappoint them. If it is necessary, yes, please communicate, but with sensitivity. So sensitive speech is to acknowledge the emotions of other person. You may be speaking truthfully, but unless we have a well-wishing intent, unless we are genuine well-wisher for the other person, we will not be communicating that news in a very sensitive way. Just speaking the truth is not sufficient. Speaking the truth in such a way that it is beneficial to the other person is important. Let me go to Ramayana. We spoke something from Bhagavatam. We spoke something from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let me go to Ramayana once. In Ramayana, all the Vanara soldiers, they were searching for Mother Sita. Hanuman, Jambavan, Nala, Nila, Angada, this big team of Vanaras went in the southern direction to search for Mother Sita. Somehow, they met a gigantic vulture named Sampati, and Sampati revealed the news. Mother Sita is on the other side of the ocean, in Lanka. Now the next task in front of the Vanaras is they need to cross this Lanka ocean. So Hanuman, Nala, Nila, Angada, Jambavan, all these Vanara soldiers were on the shore of the ocean. They were thinking, who will cross this ocean? Who will cross this ocean? Monkeys don't fly, they jump, right? So Hanumanji has to jump, not Hanuman. At that time, Hanuman was not selected yet. But all the Vanaras were thinking, should I jump? Who will jump? Then Angada, the leader, started asking every Vanara, tell me, how much can you jump? How much can you jump? One Vanara said, I can jump 10 yojanas. 10 yojanas long jump. 1 yojana is 8 miles. And 10 yojanas means 80 miles. So I can just make a 80-mile jump. Did you ever jump 80 miles? Right. So morning, I was coming from Washington DC to Baltimore. It took about 55 minutes. The distance was approximately 80 miles. So in a car, it took almost an hour to travel this 80 miles, and that 80 miles is Vanara can jump. One jump, one long jump. But that was not sufficient. He said, no, I think this is not sufficient. You are not qualified to jump. Who else? I can jump. 20 yojanas. 20 is also not sufficient. Somebody said 30, somebody said 40, somebody said 50. Like that, they were quoting different figures. But the ocean was 100 yojanas wide. One has to jump 100 yojanas. Then Angada was saying, who has the capacity to jump 100 yojanas? I have the capacity. Angada himself said, yes, I can jump 100 yojanas, but I'm not sure whether I'll be able to jump a second time and come back on this shore. Once I jump and go on the other shore, I have to find Sita Devi, then I have to come back on this shore, right? I'm not sure whether I'll be able to jump. Then Jambavan saw that, Hanuman, why are you silent? Why are you not quoting any figure? You are the only person who has the capacity to jump across the Sri Lanka ocean. You have so many benedictions. You are the son of Vayudev, the wind god. And you have been blessed by so many great personalities, including sun god, Surya. So please sleep. And Hanumanji, Jambavan praised Hanuman so much. When we speak the good qualities of others, that will encourage them, that will bring out their best. But when we speak discouraging words, demotivating words, that will disempower them. Encouraging speech empowers people, but discouraging speech disempowers people. And Guru is that person who recognizes the talents and skills and good qualities of the disciple and brings out their best. He brings out the best in all of them. So we need to See Jambavan's role. Many people appreciate Hanumanji for jumping across this Lanka ocean, but who empowered Jambavan by speaking the most appropriate words in the right context? Who empowered Hanuman by speaking the most appropriate words in the right context? That is Jambavan. It is because of Jambavan's blessings and encouragement that Hanumanji felt capable of jumping across the Lanka ocean. Otherwise, he was sitting silent. Everybody is confused, he is also confused. He forgot his own powers. But Jambavan reminded Hanuman, you are so powerful. You have the ability to jump across this Lanka ocean. Why are you silent? Then Hanumanji understood, yes, I am supposed to do it now. I am supposed to jump across this Lanka ocean now. I am supposed to find Sita Devi. I am supposed to go to Lanka. He prepared himself. He went on that big mountain and he expanded his body so huge. And Hanumanji became so huge. Then all the Vanaras were jumping up and down. They even said that, Hanuman, till you come back, we will not eat anything. We will fast. We will stand here, fasting. So Hanumanji, to encourage all the Vanaras, you know what he said? Vanaras, don't worry. I have the power to jump across this ocean. I can find Sita. I can burn Lanka. I can make chutney out of all these Rakshasas. I will serve Lord Ramachandra. I am like the Ban of Ram. Yatha Raghava Nirmukta Sharaha Swasana Vikramaha. I am like Raghava Nirmukta. I am just like a arrow that is released from the bow of Lord Ramachandra. Lord Ram's bow doesn't know any failure. When Ram releases a bow, it definitely hits the target. Ram doesn't know how to get defeated. He can only defeat others. So Hanumanji compared himself like a Ramaban. He also said, I am as fast as Garuda. I can circumambulate this entire Meru mountain. What to speak of going to Lanka and finding Sita Devi? He boasted about himself so much. He spoke so much in self-praise. Was Hanuman proud? Why Hanuman was boasting about himself? Hanuman was boasting about himself to boost the faith of all these Vanaras. All these Vanaras were discouraged, demotivated, and depressed. They were about to die. They were saying that what is the use of returning to Kishkinda only to be punished by Sugriva? What is the use of going back to Kishkinda without completing the mission of Lord Ramachandra in finding Sita Devi? They were feeling so despondent. To encourage all of them, to enthuse them, to lit up their mood, Hanumanji boasted about himself. This is sensitive speech. Some people may say, why Hanumanji is boasting about himself? He's supposed to be humble, right? Humble devotees don't speak high about themselves. They will say, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishkuna. I am more fallen than Jaga and Madhai. I am more fallen than worm in stool also. That's what Kaviraj Goswami said in his humility, right? This is the mood of a Vaishnava. But Hanumanji says, I can destroy Lanka, I can destroy Rakshasas, I can find Sita Devi, I am the best person who can carry out this mission, I am as fast as Garuda, I am as good as Ramaban. He is speaking so many things high about himself that was required on Hanumanji's side to encourage all these despondent Vanaras. This is sensitive speech. Hanumanji's words were not fully reflecting his inner humility. He is humble at heart. And even while boasting about himself, Hanumanji was only comparing himself with Ramaban. Means he is acknowledging the glory of Lord Ramachandra, not himself. There is humility there also. But apparently Hanumanji's words are like boasting words. He is bragging about himself. One would think like that. But that was required to boost the faith of all these despondent Vanaras. This is sensitivity. Sometimes, while being sensitive to other situation, you may have to speak high about yourself. Right? When a child is so fearful, seeing some fire accident or seeing something else, when the child is so fearful, although the parents are also equally fearful, or more fearful also, but still the parents say, don't worry, everything will be all right now. You just be with me, just hold my hand, just embrace me, nothing will happen to you. I'll be there to protect you. Actually, when parents say all these things to the children, they may not be totally logical. or even practical. They themselves are anxious. They may actually not have the ability to protect the children from that calamity when it becomes even more worse. But those words are required to pacify the child, control the child, console the child. Our words may not be or need not be always technically truthful, but they must be sensitive, right, to the situation of the other person. When somebody is depressed, encourage them with motivating words. Uh, but if, in the name of speaking truth, if you further discourage them, that's a problem. So Hanumanji, when he boasted about himself, when he spoke very high about himself, the intention of Hanuman is just to boost the confidence and faith of all these Vanaras. But the same Hanuman, when he crossed the Lanka ocean and when he met Sita Devi asked him, Hanuman, you are so powerful. Therefore, you could cross this Lanka ocean, although it is 100 yojanas wide. You effortlessly came here. And Hanumanji also said, Sita Devi, come sit on my back. You are like my mother. I am like your son. There is nothing wrong. If a mother touches the son, please sit on my back. I will immediately take you across this Lanka ocean and immediately you can see Lord Ramachandra. And Sita Devi said, no, I cannot come with you. Because this Ravana has kidnapped me in the absence of Lord Ramachandra. Now if Lord Ram personally comes and defeats this Ravana and reclaims me, that will be honor to my Swami. If you take me, that will kind of minimize the honor of my master, my husband, Ram. Hanumanji understood, acknowledged. Now Sita Devi had a doubt. Hanuman, you are very powerful. You could cross the Lanka ocean effortlessly. Can Ram cross? Can Lakshman cross? Can Jambavan cross this Lanka ocean? Can Sugriva cross this ocean? Can all the Vanaras cross this Lanka ocean? I doubt. And she became a little depressed. Oh, what will happen now? How will I be rescued? How will Lord Ramachandra come here? Then Hanuman said, my dear mother, you should not worry at all. In Sugriva's army, in the great army of Vanaras led by Sugriva, every single Vanara is either more powerful than me or at least equally powerful like me. So all of us will be able to effortlessly cross this Lanka ocean and will come led by Lord Ramachandra and will defeat Ravana and you will definitely reunite with Ram very soon. And on the other side of the ocean, what did Hanuman say? I am so powerful. I am the best of all Vanaras. I am like Garuda. I can cross this Lanka ocean. I can do this. I can do that. He boasted about himself so much on the other side of the ocean. But when he came on this side of the ocean, where did that boasting go? He started humbling himself. He said, I am the weakest Vanara in the entire army of Sugriva. Who will be sent as a messenger? The messenger is someone who is very weak, who is not good for anything else. Because I am sent as a Duta, a messenger of Ram, you please understand I am the weakest Vanara in Sugriva's army. Every other Vanara is either better than me or at least equal to me. There is no one who is inferior to me in the entire army of Sugriva. So although Hanumanji's words are totally inconsistent, on this side of the ocean he's saying something, on the other side of the ocean he says something else, totally opposite words, still, in both cases, Hanumanji's words are very, very sensitive to the emotions of the other Vaishnavas. Right? There to encourage the despondent Vanaras, Hanumanji had to speak high about himself. Here to encourage despondent Sita Devi, Hanumanji had to speak low about himself. In both cases, Hanumanji's words are not exactly truthful. What Hanumanji spoke to Mother Sita is not technically accurate, not technically truthful. Is it really true that all the Vanaras in the Sugriva's army are equally powerful like Hanuman, or more powerful like Hanuman? More powerful than Hanuman? Not truthful at all. Hanumanji spoke a lie in one sense. Right? In front of Sita Devi, Hanumanji did not speak truthfully in one sense. But that was required to pacify her, to console her, to give her some encouragement. On the other side of this ocean, when Hanumanji spoke very high about himself in front of all the Vanaras, Hanumanji didn't mean what he said. He was boasting about himself, but he was very, very humble at heart. He was not at all proud. His words were not exactly reflecting his inner humble mood. Apparently, his words are very, very confident, too much of pride there, apparently. But internal mood is humility only. So sometimes we may have to speak in such a way that it encourages other Vaishnavas. Although they may not be fully truthful, this is called sensitivity in speech. You want more examples? Let's go to Bhagavatam once. We are switching between different scriptures. Sometimes Gita, sometimes Bhagavatam, sometimes Chaitanya Charitamrita. So let's go to Bhagavatam once. You know Parikshit Maharaj's story? Parikshit Maharaj went on hunting excursion and he went to the hermitage of a sage named Shamika Rishi. And Shamika Rishi was meditating. Constantly, he was absorbed in meditation. He was not at all aware of the external circumstances. Parikshit Maharaj went and asked, I am very thirsty, give me some water. He was not speaking only because he was in meditation. Then Parikshit Maharaj became frustrated and he took a dead snake. He took a dead snake which is lying nearby and kept it on the neck of Shamik Rishi. This is a beautiful garland, but he kept a dead snake there. But our Shamika Rishi did not even realize that Parikshit Maharaj has insulted. And Parikshit left, and Shamika Rishi's son Shringi came to know that some king came to the hermitage in his absence and garlanded his father with a dead snake. As soon as Shringi heard this, he uttered a curse. Whoever is that come, whoever that king may be, let him die by the bite of a snake bird in 1 week. Within 1 week he will die. He cursed. Then later, one of the disciples of Shamik Rishi came to Parikshit Maharaj's kingdom, Hastinapur, and communicated to him, O king, you have been cursed to die within 7 days. You can make the necessary arrangements, whatever you want to make. This curse cannot be nullified. Parikshit Maharaj, when he came back to the palace, he was regretting. He was repenting so much. Oh, what did I just do? I have offended this great Brahmana who was absorbed in meditation. He was a great sage. To expect that such a Brahmana should give me water and hospitality itself is an offense. On top of it, just because he did not give me a cup of water, I have insulted him. Let me be punished. Let me be punished for this offense that I have done. So Parikshit Maharaj, as he was thinking like this, then Gauranga came and gave this message that you have been cursed to die. And Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse as a blessing in disguise, and he retired from the kingdom. He went on the bank of Ganga and he offered obeisances to all the sages and requested them, please speak Harikatha. Then Sukadeva Goswami came there and spoke 7 days of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Parikshit Maharaj was bitten by a snake and he went back to Godhead. This is the story that we know. But the main point that I wanted to mention in this context is Parikshit Maharaj regretted, sincerely regretted for his poor etiquette, for his offense towards Shamik Rishi. But did he go and say sorry? Did he email Shamik Rishi? My humble apologies. I have kept a dead snake around you as a garland because you have not given me a cup of water. Did he communicate? Did he say sorry for the mistake? He realized that mistake, but he did not say sorry. Why did he not say sorry? Because he was very sensitive. because the news of this curse has been communicated to Parikshit Maharaj with so much of regret. Shamika Rishi was feeling so regretful, so remorseful that such a great monarch, Vaishnava king like Parikshit was cursed by his own son Shringi. So Shamika Rishi was feeling so bad that Parikshit was cursed like this. If Parikshit goes and says sorry, oh my God, Shamika Rishi will be even more devastated. So, understanding the emotions of Shamika Rishi, to not further make him embarrassed, to not further make him feel very awkward, Parikshit Maharaj did not say sorry. Although he was regretful for his mistake, he did not say sorry. He did not convey apologies. In not saying sorry, he was sensitive. So if you commit a mistake and the other person is affected by your mistake, it will be sensitivity on our part to go and say sorry, apologize, pacify, console them. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Yes, I meant it because of some mental derangement. I have done this mistake, but I sincerely repent for this, regret for it. I'm really sorry. Please forgive me. That is sensitivity. To beg forgiveness is sensitivity. Acknowledging the emotions of other Vaishnavas, should go and say sorry. But Parikshit never said sorry. Because if he says sorry, Shamika Rishi would be even more embarrassed. To not embarrass him, he did not say sorry. This is sensitivity. A sensible person and a sensitive person does not become too eager to express their emotions. They understand, is it worth expressing my emotion in this context or not? They understand that. In contrast to this example, there is another story of Chitraketu Maharaj. You know Chitraketu Maharaj from the 6th canto of Bhagavatam? How many of you know Chitraketu Maharaj? Yeah, some of you. This Chitraketu Maharaj came to a place where Lord Shiva was keeping his wife Parvati Devi on his lap, and he was giving a philosophical discourse to some group of sages. And there's nothing wrong in it. You see so many deities of Narasimhadev are carved with Lakshmi Devi sitting on his lap. So here is Parvati Devi sitting on the lap of Shiva. So wife sitting on the lap of husband is perfectly all right, but still our Chitraketu Maharaj felt that, okay, that can be done in private, not in public. How can Lord Shiva sit with his wife on his lap in a great assembly of so many sages? Actually, Chitraketu Maharaj did not have any disrespectful feelings towards Lord Shiva, but he was concerned that common people might see Lord Shiva and might misunderstand him. He doesn't want that to happen. I don't want common people to misunderstand Lord Shiva and offend him. Just with that concern, he passed a comment and gave a feedback to Lord Shiva, but publicly. Then Shiva understood his intention and he kept quiet. And other sages also understood Chitraketu's mood and they also kept quiet. But Mother Parvati did not keep quiet. She said, is he the appointed punisher or chastiser to punish and correct shameless people like us? Brahma has forgotten dharma. 4 Kumaras have forgotten dharma. Naradamuni has forgotten dharma. Bhrigu has forgotten dharma. Nobody came to correct Lord Shiva, and here is this person coming and giving a feedback to Lord Shiva. My dear son, may you become a demon. She cursed Chitraketu Maharaj to become a demon so that he wouldn't commit such mistakes again. Now Chitraketu Maharaj immediately got down from his airplane, went in front of Mother Parvati, offered her obeisances and said, my dear mother, please forgive me. I accept your curse. I accept your punishment. I didn't mean anything wrong, but whatever you think is wrong, let that be wrong and may I be forgiven for it. In short, Chitraketu Maharaj conveyed his apologies to Mother Parvati. Why? Because she was affected. She got offended. When a husband is criticized in public, definitely wife gets upset, and that's what is her emotion. If you see, Parikshit Maharaj also did a mistake of insulting Shamik Rishi. Chitraketu Maharaj also did a mistake of insulting or criticizing Lord Shiva. And Parikshit was cursed. Chitraketu Maharaj also was cursed. But Parikshit never said sorry. Chitraketu Maharaj said sorry. Situation is more or less same in both cases, but one person is saying sorry, other person is not saying sorry. Why is it so? The emotion is same. Chitraketu Maharaj understood that Mother Parvati has been offended that I have disrespected her husband. It was a mistake on my part that has caused pain to her heart. Therefore, I have to console her. I have to pacify her. I have to say sorry. Therefore, he went and said sorry. But Parikshit Maharaj, he realized his mistake, but he also felt that if I say sorry, Shamik Rishi will be more embarrassed. Therefore, let me not say sorry. This is sensitivity. Both of these devotees, they were not thinking that for a small mistake that we have done, we have been cursed to become demon or cursed to die. It's too much of appropriate, too much of punishment. Let me do a poll. There's some poll, right? Campaigning. What is it called? You send a message to everyone. Huh? Signing.
Oh,
Petition. Petition. Let me circulate a petition. Who will support me? I have been unnecessarily cursed to die in 7 days. Anyay hai. This is injustice. He did not, send a petition to everyone. He did not try to plead innocence. He did not justify his mistake. Both of them did not justify their mistake. They were not thinking about what happened to them, but they were thinking more in terms of what happened to the other Vaishnava. They are sensitive to the emotions of other Vaishnavas and not so much about what has happened to them. This is sensitivity. Of course, these are very, very extreme cases of sensitive dealings. But we may not be cursed to die in 7 days. We may not be cursed to become demons in the next life. And even if somebody curses, it may not work also. In Kali Yuga, who has the power to curse? Durvasamuni can curse Indra also. May you lose all your material opulence. That really works. That curse actually works. When Durvasamuni plucks a hair and creates a fiery demon to kill Amrish Maharaj, actually fiery demon comes there. But in Kali Yuga, not many people have the ability to curse. So our situations are not as extreme as the situations of the personalities in Srimad Bhagavatam. But we need to understand that the principles must be adopted. The problems that we face may not be as severe as the problems faced by these great personalities. Our situations may be much milder, but for us, they're severe. But the principles of responding to that sensitive situations in a very sensible manner is what we need to learn. Right? So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Krishna. Let me discuss one more story from Krishna. We discussed so many stories of Vaishnavas. Let's discuss one story of Lord Krishna. A relatable story. With this we'll conclude. We only have 15-17 minutes. You know, Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain to protect all the Vrajavasis from the devastating rainfall created by Indra. Krishna only inspired all the Vrajavasis to abandon Indra Puja and instead perform the puja of Govardhan mountain. Hantaya Madrirabala Haridasa Varyo Yadrama Krishna Charana Sparasha Prabodha Manantanoti Sahago Ganayostayoryat Pani Yasuyavasakandara Kandabulaihi. So Radharani glorifies Govardhan mountain. Govardhan mountain goes into ecstasy with the touch of the lotus feet of Balaram and Krishna. And Govardhan mountain renders so much service to all the Vrajavasis, including the cows and the calves and the gopas and the gopis. And Krishna loves Govardhan mountain so much. So Krishna told all the Vrajavasis, please worship Giriraj Govardhan and don't worship, who is that? Indra. He is very proud. Krishna is sensitive to the situation of Indra in one sense. Because Indra is very proud, and if Vrajavasis worship him, his pride will increase. So Krishna acted in such a way that the pride of Indra decreases. So he told Vrajavasis, stop this Indra Puja, worship Govardhan. They did. They followed the instructions of Krishna. Then Indra became very furious. He started blaspheming Krishna. Vachalam, Balisham, Stabdham, Agnam, Panditamaninam. He blasphemed Krishna in so many ways, and he created a devastating rainfall in Vrindavan to destroy all the cows and calves and entire cowherd community. Isn't it? Indra tried for 1 week. Indra had sent severe Samvartaka clouds and severe rains and thunderbolts and hailstones to destroy Vrindavan, but he failed in all his attempts. Despite trying for 1 full week, he failed in all his attempts. Then finally, Indra realized his mistake. Oh, I am playing with the Supreme Lord. Just few years back, I am the one who went to the shore of the milk ocean along with Brahma, along with Mother Earth, along with other devatas, and prayed for the descent of the Lord on this planet. And now that the Lord appeared in a human form on this planet, but I disrespected him. And I acted like a mudha. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tarumashra. I have acted like a mudha, an ignorant person. So he realized his mistake and he went to Brahma. Brahma, can you please tell me some solution? Brahma said, you committed an offense in 24th chapter of 10th canto. I committed in 14th chapter only, 10 chapters back. I committed an offense. From him, Mohan Lila is 10.13 and 14, and Govardhan Lila is 10.24. So I committed an offense. I don't know what to do. I went and offered prayers to Krishna. Krishna is very stern. Krishna did not speak a single word. I was offering so many prayers. No medyate brava pushe taditambaraya bhunjavatam saparipicchala sanmukhaya vanyasraje kamalavitra vishana vedu lakshmasriye mridupade pashupangajaya. Like that, I offered about more than 40 prayers, and Krishna did not speak a single word. What advice can I give you, my dear Indra? So Brahma did not know what to do. Then Brahaspati was there, so many sages were there. They all advised Indra, now that you have committed an offense, you cannot face Krishna. So you can go to Krishna through Surabhi. If another Vaishnava recommends you, if another Vaishnava speaks on your behalf in front of Krishna, then Krishna can be merciful towards you. Then Indra went to the Goloka planet. Not the Goloka Vrindavan there. In this material world also, there is another Goloka, which is a planet of cows. So Indra went to that planet of cows and asked Surabhi cow, can you please come with me? What happened? I did a mistake. Oh really? What was that mistake? I am very ashamed to say. Because I have offended Krishna. I tried to destroy the cowherd community in Vrindavan. But now I am regretting for that mistake. I am very repentant. I take your shelter. Can you please recommend my name to Krishna? I want to say sorry to Krishna, but I don't have the courage to face Krishna. So I want your help. You please speak. Because as soon as Krishna sees you, his heart will be melted. He loves cows so much. Krishna is called Govinda because he gives pleasure to the cows. Krishna's planet is called Goloka. It's a planet of cows. Krishna's friends are called Gopas and Gopis. They are cowhead boys and cowhead girls. So Krishna loves the word go so much. Let's go. Oh cow, please come with me. Then cow said, okay, fine. She's cow after all. She's very kind and affectionate and compassionate. He said, okay, let me go. Krishna already understood that Indra is going to come very soon to beg forgiveness. So what am I supposed to do? So Krishna was playing with his cowhead boys as usual. After this Govardhan Lila, Krishna is happily playing with cowhead boys and tending cows. Knowing that Indra is going to come very soon, Krishna slowly came out of the games. All the boys are so absorbed in playing, and Krishna was also playing, but Krishna just came out. And he came close to Govardhan, to a secluded place, to a place where no one was there. He went far away from the boys, Gopa boys. And boys somehow, by Krishna's arrangement, they did not realize so much. Because Krishna understood. Krishna was very sensitive to the situation of Indra. If Indra comes here and he needs my appointment, and if I'm very busy playing with these boys, he has to stand there and say, Krishna, this thoda, can you please come aside? I want to talk to you. I need to speak something. Then all the cowherd boys will see Indra. And they will say, especially Madhumangal will say, hey, here is Indra. He is the one who created this rainfall in Vrindavan. And now he is thoroughly humiliated because our dear Krishna became Giridhari. He lifted Govardhan mountain to protect all of us. And see, this is the Indra who is troubling us. He's so proud, he's so arrogant, like that. All the cowherd boys may make fun of Indra. That will humiliate Indra even more. Already he's feeling so regretful. He's feeling so bad. He's in a very depressed condition. We should not increase his depression. See, Krishna was so sensitive. When somebody does a mistake, somebody offends you, or speaks something or does something that displeases you, and that's a mistake definitely. But if they realize that mistake and admit that mistake and come to you to apologize, we should have that kindness to forgive them. That forgiveness is a Vaishnava quality. Without that forgiveness, we cannot be called Vaishnava. Not that we want to be called and recognized as Vaishnavas, but, but we should cultivate this quality. Kshamaya rochate Lakshmi Brahmi Shauri Yatha Prabha Kshaminamasu Bhagavam Stushyate Haririshvara. So Brahmanas or Vaishnavas shine with this wonderful quality of forgiveness. And this forgiveness quality is originally there in Krishna's heart. And because we are parts of Krishna, we are amshas of Krishna, and amsha of his forgiveness also should be there with us. So Krishna, being very, very sensitive to the situation of Indra, he came aside. He felt that Indra is already embarrassed, let me not further embarrass him. He's already humiliated, let me not further humiliate him by making him come and ask for an appointment, ask for my appointment in front of this cowherd boys. They will make fun of him. Of course, cowherd boys are simple village boys. They're very innocent. They're very pure-hearted. Even if they make fun, there's no malice there. Even they're making fun of somebody is also out of their love for Krishna only. Krishna can handle all that, but he is also a little sensitive to the situation of Indra. So he came aside. Then Indra kept Surabhi in front, and as soon as Krishna saw Surabhi, naturally Krishna became very affectionate towards Surabhi. Then Indra came forward, and Indra offered prayers, and Indra also expressed that, I'm sorry, my dear Lord, I have become very proud of my power and position, and I have offended you. Please forgive me. He said many things, and Krishna said, don't worry. You should understand that I am the source of your power, and you are not supposed to become so proud like this. You continue your service. I am not removing you from your post. You continue as the ruler of this Indraloka, ruler of heaven. You continue to shower rains, but no more Indra Puja. Because this puja is feeding your pride. So the cause of the pride Krishna has removed, but he did not remove him from the service. So this is Krishna's sensitivity, right? So when somebody comes to us with a regretful mood, we should not further embarrass them. We should be sensitive enough to their needs and their moods and give them that space to flourish. In our dealings with other devotees, whether we are coordinating their services or, or hearing their problems or solving their doubts, we should be sensitive to their situation. When we are sensitive to other Vaishnavas' feelings and emotions and needs and moods, we can retain Vaishnava friendships. But this insensitivity and indifference in our dealings with other Vaishnavas could break their hearts, and they may not feel very comfortable. See, somebody is unable to perform so many services, and somebody is able to render so much service. But we should see their sincerity. They may not be a great performers. There may not be great performers of big tasks, but they are doing their best. Please acknowledge their service. If we give more time to, or if we only interact with people who are high performers, and if we neglect or ignore devotees who may be contributing very less, that will dishearten them. Of course, as Vaishnavas, we are not supposed to expect praise or claps or adoration from other people. But at the same time, when we are dealing with others, we should give them that praise. We should give them that appreciation, right? Like Hanumanji was bringing big boulders for the construction of Ram Setu, the bridge across the Lanka Ocean. But a squirrel was only pushing some sand particles and small grains of sand or pebbles or rocks. In comparison to Hanumanji's service, squirrel's service was very small. But Ram acknowledged the service attitude of squirrels. Ram was very happy because the squirrel is doing its best. Right? Hanumanji was doing his best and squirrel is doing its best. Similarly, we need to recognize even the small contributions of devotees and be sensitive to their needs and capacities and abilities and encourage them, appreciate them, instead of saying that, oh, you didn't do much. Kya kiya? Kuch nahi kiya. Only this much. We should be very sensitive. I was hearing from one senior devotee. Once Gurujan Prabhu offered maybe $100 or $200 as donation to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada became very happy. Oh, thank you so much. You are working so hard and you are contributing this to the service of Krishna. I'm very happy with you. But Tamal Krishna Maharaj brought some $10,000 or $20,000, something like that. very high figure. And gave. Prabhupada said, only this much? You should get more. Why? He has more capacity to get. But here is another humble devotee who is doing his best. So Prabhupada is pleased with both. If you see this garland, in this garland, there are some yellow flowers, there are some red flowers, there are some orange flowers, and some are small. This is small, this is big, this is medium size. But every flower in this garland has its own role to play in beautifying this garland. Like if we say, oh, rose is better than this because it is this red rose is better than this in orange flower. So if you give more prominence to this and make an entire garland with this only, it will not be so colorful. Of course, it has its own beauty, but it will not be so colorful. The Vaishnava society should be like a colorful garden or a colorful garland with multiple colors. A Vaishnava community, spiritual community, is that which accommodates devotees of multiple backgrounds, multiple talents, multiple capacities to render service to Krishna, multiple skills. Somebody can sing well, somebody can speak well, somebody can cook well, somebody can decorate the deities so nicely, someone can do fundraising nicely, someone can distribute nicely. Like devotees like Krishna Ramanand Prabhu, they can take so much ananda in Krishna Nam and chant so many rounds, hundreds of rounds while traveling. The different devotees are empowered to do different services. We should appreciate the qualities of different devotees and be sensitive to their situations and not discourage them or demean them. We should not just see devotees from the lens of their skill set only. If we see devotees as resources with some skills, with some capacities to serve, then we are interacting with them on a superficial platform. Yes, skills are important. Some skills or talents of some devotees are very, very necessary to carry out a particular service of Krishna. That's amazing, no doubt. But behind those skills, behind those talents, behind that resourceful nature, there is a Vaishnava heart. There is a heart filled with feelings and emotions. There is a heart that has so much of love for Krishna, some sincere devotion, some sincere sentiments for Krishna. We need to acknowledge those feelings and not hurt those sentiments. We should value devotees for the love that they have for Krishna, not only for what they do for Krishna, but also for the emotion that they have for Krishna. Right? So, a devotee's life is a combination of some actionable, action-oriented services, but also some genuine emotions. Right? We need to see Vaishnavas as packets of both, and be sensitive to their situation in our dealings with those devotees. We need to be very sensitive. We need to acknowledge them for whatever they are, and reciprocate with them nicely. Of course, if there are some mistakes, corrections have to be given, but that must be given sensitively with a well-wishing intent. When that well-wishing intent is there, even if your words come out little strongly, Jai Shri Radha Shyamsundar Bhagavan. So when we have a genuine well-wishing nature, well-wishing intent, even if sometimes the words come out a little strongly, still people will be able to take it because they understand that these are my well-wishers. Right? These are a few thoughts on this topic of sensitivity in dealings. We have seen several examples from Ramayana, from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and some shlokas from Bhagavad Gita, and try to discuss on this theme of sensitivity in dealings. So with this, I'll conclude. If you have any questions or comments, you can please share. Hare Krishna. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
I just want to congratulate you on that point that you agreed to that sensitivity. Very important. And this is something that we have seen in Sri Prabhupada also. Very sensitive to the devotees. I know this one story, my God, but Maharaj, they had gone through some difficulties and some trials. And he had actually felt from sannyas, and Prabhupada's advice was very nice to him, very sensitive, that he could continue being a householder and there was no difficulty. So I just want to make that point. It's a very important point that you're making. And congratulations.
Thank you so much for your kind blessings. No. What is the name of the president? Yes.
Thank you for the class. Whatever examples you gave were of very exalted great devotees like Hanuman, others. So Parikshit Maharaj. So for us, probably we go by pretty simple, facts and rules, right? For instance, take the humble stance. So for us, maybe something like that would not be very conceivable, right? To actually say like Hanuman said, try to show more of the qualities to encourage someone, or maybe like Parikshit Maharaj did not apologize to Rishi Shringi because he felt that would break his heart. For us, it's not possible probably to think on that level.
Why is it not possible? When you say sorry to another Vaishnava, and if you feel that Vaishnava may feel very uncomfortable hearing your apologies, we may just restrain ourselves. Why is it difficult? Sorry, am I not being sensitive here? So, of course, We discussed so many ideal examples, and we have a long way to go to reach that standard. Definitely, we understand that, we acknowledge that. At the same time, we need to attempt. For example, Mahaprabhu sets a very high standard. At least the examples that I shared, Hanumanji boasting about himself on this side of the ocean, Hanumanji minimizing his position in front of Mother Sita, or Parikshit Maharaj not apologizing in front of Semik Rishi, or Chitraketu Maharaj apologizing in front of Mother Parvati. So these are at least relatable examples. But Mahaprabhu says, be humbler than a blade of grass. Tranadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishtuna amanina manadena kirtane sada harihi. Be humbler than a blade of grass. Be more tolerant than a tree. Respect everyone. Don't hanker to be honored by others. This seems like really too much. And every day we sing this. Shikshashtaka. How can I be more tolerant than a tree? Of course, that ideal is like so far, but we are somewhere here. But at least let me try to cultivate this virtue of tolerance or humility. Say, there is feast now. I don't know if there is feast now. Ekadashi, right?
Yes, no.
Say on some festival day there is a nice feast. There are 10 items being served. You, by the time you go to take prasadam, you will only get 9 items, not 10. Tolerate at least. At that moment, you plus tolerate. It's okay, I like to settle with 9 items only. I'll not get the 10th item. Let's begin from there. Let me not yell and scream at this prasadam server. That's my favorite item. How can you not give me that item? I have been serving so much. You should save some gulab jamun for me, so you can tolerate a little bit there. Anyways, I'm sorry if I interrupted you. Yeah, please continue.
Thank you, Prabhu.
There are some what I was trying to say is, although these are very high ideals, we can always take our baby steps in that direction. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, please continue.
No, that's good actually. I was saying, other part of it might be easier for us to understand. We have to take humble position, but it might be more difficult for us to say something that seems against that. Like what Hanuman was doing, right? Stating more than what he is in some respects. That part I was thinking is difficult for us to comprehend. That was my point.
Yeah, but we can always take our baby steps too. The more we discuss about these qualities, the more we can imbibe them. Why it becomes sometimes difficult to relate with these qualities or apply these qualities? Probably because there is no sufficient discussion or emphasis on it. The more we emphasize on it, the more we discuss about these examples, the more we internalize those lessons. The more we discuss about Parikshit Maharaj, the more we become like him. The more we meditate on the qualities of Amrish Maharaj, the more we think like him, the more we speak like him. The more we hear about Prahlad Maharaj, the more we think like him, speak like him, act like him. So Prahlad Maharaj, although he was tormented so much by Hiranyakashipu, he did not hate Hiranyakashipu. When Narasimhadev appeared in front of him, Prahlad was praying, "Oh Lord, please show some mercy on my father Hiranyakashipu." Apparently, in this picture, if you see, Prahlad Maharaj is garlanding Narasimhadev for killing Hiranyakashipu. But later, after this scene, Prahlad Maharaj said, "Oh Narasimhadev, I don't want any boons. I don't want any benedictions. Please show some mercy on my father." Can we pray for someone who caused harm to us? Oh, difficult. But the more we hear about Prahlad Maharaj, the more we think in terms of praying for those who have troubled us also. We will not hate them. For that, we need to hear more and more and more about Prahlad Maharaj, where he is praying, "Oh Lord, let all these envious villains, envious demoniac people give up their envy and start becoming well-wishers of everybody." That was his prayer. The more we meditate on the prayer, the more we pray like that. Does it make sense, Prabhu? Hari Hari. Any other question? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble praises. Thank you for the last As you said, we should try to adopt these principles, taking baby steps. to in a practicing sadhaka's life, there is the Vaishnava Sangha and then there is the outside world. It could be your family, it could be your work, it could be whatever. Now, many times the experience is Prabhu that these principles, the Vaishnava etiquette and the Vaishnava principles, would be counterproductive. For example, if you are in a role where you have to let go, you have to lay off people at work, that kind of sensitivity, what we speak, you have to give it dispassionately without getting emotions involved. And it becomes a struggle that you have to fire somebody, you know it's going to, whatever be that reason. And you really can't be soft, you have to be cut and dry. So how does a sadhaka manage practicing these principles and something which is, not promoting it?
Yes. We have two purposes of life. One is self-realization, which is the ultimate purpose. Second is self-preservation. That's the immediate purpose. Self-preservation is maintaining our body, keeping ourselves healthy, safe in this material world, for which we may need some wealth and money and manpower and resources, etc., contacts, some position in the society, etc. All these are part of self-preservation, which ultimately are meant to facilitate the ultimate purpose of self-realization. Right? We need to do the needful on both fronts. Friends, we cannot become prematurely transcendental. We have to do the needful on the material front also, so that we can peacefully practice spiritual life. So as far as dealing with material circles is concerned, we have to be smart. We have to be intelligent. We need to respect the ways in which this material world functions, and we need to do the needful to survive in those circles. In the name of humility, in the name of tolerance, in the name of sensitivity, we should not and we need not allow ourselves to get exploited by others. Vaishnava has to be humble. Vaishnava has to give more credit to others than he takes for himself. These are all principles. But if in your company and in your job, if somebody is trying to overpower you, supersede you, or politically manipulate the situations to get some benefit, personal benefit, and sideline you or subdue you, suppress you, or whatever, you need to stand up for what is right. You need to do the needful. When Durvasa Muni created a fiery demon to destroy Ambarish Maharaj did not speak a single word. He stood there. He did not move even 1 inch also. If Durvasa Muni wants to kill me, let me be killed in this way. We cannot imitate Ambarish Maharaj when in your company some senior manager is becoming like Durvasa Muni and trying to destroy us or take us out. We may not be able to demonstrate what Ambarish Maharaj has demonstrated. In Vaishnava circles, sometimes we may have to, but even in Vaishnava circles also, when we are surrounded by some struggling sadhakas only, even then also we may have to stand up for some time, sometimes, right? So, in the name of humility or tolerance or Vaishnava culture, we need not allow ourselves to get unnecessarily troubled by others or exploited by others. Sometimes in this world, if you are too mild, people will use us like doormats. So we have to do the needful to protect ourselves, to do self-preservation, right? And similarly, as you said, in the name of sensitivity, we cannot retain someone who is not doing justice to the job. There are some strict rules have to be applied. If that's what your job, then okay, you may have to do the needful, but you can show a sensitivity in a more personal manner than in a professional manner. Professionally, you have to be shrewd, you have to be strict, you have to do the needful. But personally, you can always try to help them. Okay, sorry, if you are in a position to take a strict action against someone, some employee, your senior, you may have to do it professionally, officially, formally. But on a personal basis, you can always say, sorry, I had to do this for you, but tell me if I can help you in any other way. Or I know someone else, some other company, I can push your resume there. I can recommend you there. Here we are unable to accommodate so many people, therefore we have to remove you. But you are a wonderful worker. We may not need you, but your skills are very useful. I can always mention about you, speak some good things about you to another person. In that way, you can show sensitivity. One door may be closed, you can always try to open another door for that devotee or another individual. So, where there is a will, Krishna will show a way. But while living in this world, we should not allow ourselves to get exploited by others. That's a basic principle of self-preservation, and that attempts for self-preservation will not put us out of the realm of pure devotional service. Right? Some Vaishnavas must have kept a very, very high standard. Some are implementable. Like Hanumanji boasting about himself or minimizing his position, that you can replicate. Chitraketu Maharaj saying sorry and Parikshit is not saying sorry, that also we can implement. But Ambarish Maharaj allowing himself to be burned by that fiery demon, we may not be able to implement immediately at this moment. Srivas Thakur, he was doing Harinam Sankirtan throughout the night. But this Gopal Chapal wanted to prove that he's a Shakta worshipper. You know the story? I don't have the bandwidth to explain it now. You know the story, right? Srivas Thakur, there is one envious person called Gopal Chapal who wanted to defame Srivas Thakur. And Srivas Thakur said, yes, this is what I am doing. I am not doing Harinam Sankirtan throughout the night. He even cooperated with that blasphemer or criticizer. We may not be able to do that. If somebody is blaming us, somebody wants to defame us, we may have to stand up for it and we have to prove our innocence sometimes. If you are so detached and if okay, fine, let them think whatever they want, I will chant Hare Krishna, that is also fine. Krishna will take care of us if you have that mood. But if Krishna has given you some resources where you have to take care of yourself, please do the needful. Right? There are some thoughts. Does it make sense, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Any other question, comment? Or how long should we go? It's 7:45 now.
One question. What is the role of one's inborn prakriti when being sensitive? So we have seen that some people are or devotees are naturally sensitive, and we have even heard about the types of personalities, that all those things where So is it right to? Is understanding correct that those who are not naturally sensitive because of the way they are inborn? Basic prakriti, then they have to be more conscious and you know what I'm saying. I just wanted to know your perspective on prakriti versus being sensitive.
Okay. So as sadhakas, we should strive to cultivate these qualities. But as you said, people have a default nature, swabhava, proclivity, inclination, prakriti. There are multiple words to describe that. But what we need to work on is the intention. If you remember right in the beginning of our session, I said anudvega karam vakyam means speaking in a non-agitating tone is important in all circumstances. But sometimes with a well-wishing intent, somebody may speak in an agitating tone also. My parents chastised me so many times. But for almost 4 decades, we are together, we love each other. So my parents chastised me so many times, but that loving bonding did not break. Because by default, we understand, although they chastise, they don't have a malice in the heart. They are my well-wishers. So we need to work on that well-wishing intent. More than the external appeal of sensitivity, we need to have that internal emotion of well-wishing nature. Many times people may think that sensitivity basically means you speak in a very polite way. Thank you, sir. Sorry, sir. This is not like this. You always have a smile on your face. you speak very polite, you choose the right words to communicate your message. All these are important, good. Or if you don't have the right words, you can go to Chat GPT and get the right words and then write a side mail, very sensitive mail, very appealing mail in a very Vaishnava way. But if all of that is not done with proper sensitivity in the heart, proper emotion in the heart, proper love and affection in the heart, then it's all superficial, external. So we need to work on the internal mood. Like Hanuma, like Jagadayananda Pandit, he is very bold. Damodar Pandit is very bold. Damodar Pandit even can give feedback to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. He can correct Lord Chaitanya also. Although Damodar is a brahmachari, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sannyasi, Damodar Pandit, as if he's holding a siksha danda dhari, he is holding a rod of punishment, he would chastise Lord Chaitanya, scold Lord Chaitanya sometimes. But he's doing it out of love. That kind of behavior is not ordinarily recommended, but there is loving emotion there. Similarly, Jagdanand Pandit. So at that level, na Prabhu, that swabhava, that basic nature doesn't cause any hindrance in one's expression of love. Satyabhama is aggressive, Rukmani is very mild, but both have deep love for Krishna. Gadadhar Pandit is very mild, Damodar Pandit is wild, but both have intense love for Krishna. So we need to focus on the emotion. As far as expression is concerned, some people are fast, some people are slow, some people are extroverts, some people are introverts, some people are wild, some people are mild. All these are fine. After a while, you'll understand people's nature. But emotion is important, the intention is important, the purpose, the consciousness is more important. Okay. I think that little boy wanted to ask something.
Go ahead. Darshan. Yeah, please.
My question is that why did Asura when like cruel people born in Dhruva dynasty?
Real people born in
When
Vienna, yes. What's the question?
There's in a good family, why did Vena born?
Oh, why did a bad king like Vena take birth in a Vaishnava family? Is it like that? Dhruva dynasty. If Prahlad Maharaj is born in a demoniac dynasty, why can't Vena be born in a devotee dynasty? Birth doesn't matter. Intention matters. But anyways, now that you have asked this question, Vena's mother was Sunitha. Not Suniti, Sunitha. And Vena's father was Anga Maharaj. Anga Maharaj is a pure devotee. And Anga Maharaj's ancestor Dhruva is a pure devotee. So from father's side, Vena is connected to nice devotees. But from mother's side, Vena is connected to the Lord of Death. Mother Sunitha is the daughter of Lord of Death, Yamaraj. And Yamaraj is punishing people, sinful people. You are able to understand? Follow? Prabhu? You are able to follow this? Vena's mother is Sunitha. Okay? Sunitha was the daughter of Yamaraj. And what was Yamaraj's duty? To punish all sinful people. Clear? So seeing that Yamaraj is punishing sinful people, Sunitha also picked up a whip and she started punishing innocent people. Once there was a simple Gandharva doing some meditation on Saraswati Devi, some goddess, and suddenly this Sunitha comes in and whoops, unnecessarily punishes him, imitating her father. Then he said, "You unnecessarily are punishing me. May you have a cruel son." So he cursed her. So Sunitha, because of inheriting the external nature of her father, the Lord of Death, and also because of being cursed by this man, she had to give birth to a cruel son named Vena. Got it? He kind of inherited the qualities of his mother or her grandfather. Thank you. Hare Krishna.